President Trump's former lawyer takes a stand.
And I wanted to be here to support him.
Our DC Bureau is live with the main takeaways from Michael Cohen, the U.S. Secretary of State in Ukraine,
when Ukraine can stand strongly on its own feet,
and why his visit is of high importance to the country. Less commotions at graduations.
We should also be extremely critical of their involvement.
A look into what's happening at college ceremonies. And the car market facing money problems.
Definitely had a bit of a topsy-turvy.
How you can land a decent price for your next car. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Today is Wednesday, May 15th, 2024.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Tough testimony at the Trump trial coming from the former president's former lawyer. Yesterday wrapped up day 2 of Michael Cohen's testimony and former President Trump's hush money trial.
Amelia Orjuela from our DC Bureau is live outside the White House this morning with the latest.
Good morning. Yesterday in New York City, Donald Trump's former lawyer Michael Cohen returned to the witness stand for the second time to continue his testimony about the payment made to Stormy Daniels. Prosecutors said the $130,000 payment to Daniels led to the charges Mr. Trump is currently facing today. 34 falsified business records to hide a reimbursement to Cohen, which was actually a payment to Daniels. Cohen said that the payment was done under Trump's orders.
Cohen opened his testimony by describing a meeting in the Oval Office in February 2017 to discuss the reimbursement plan for the so-called hush money payments. Additionally, he confirmed evidence presented of financial documents from that same month, labeled as pursuant to the retainer agreement, which Cohen testified were full notations. In his testimony, Cohen also explained the turning point to stop lying for his boss, as that being when the FBI raided his home and office and his own family, asking when he was going to stop defending Trump. Several senators, along with a Republican primary rival or two and House Speaker Mike Johnson, traveled to the courtroom in downtown Manhattan, saying they wanted to show their support for the former president. Some of them are mentioned as potential Trump vice presidential contenders.
President Trump is a friend, and I wanted to be here to support him. I'm here speaking with you outside because the court won't allow us to speak.
In the afternoon, Trump's attorney started a fierce cross-examination for roughly 2 hours. When the trial adjourned for the day, the former president spoke with the press.
Today we had a very good day in court. You see what's happening, and you'll have to report it because I can't talk about it too much.
Cohen will return to court tomorrow to continue with the cross-examination. There are no trial hearings scheduled for today, which is a trial regular day off, or for Friday, which Trump is heading to West Palm Beach to his son's graduation. Reporting from Washington, D.C. for Caplin News, I'm Amelia Orjuela.
This morning, U.S. Secretary of State continues in Ukraine to reassure the leaders and people of that country that U.S. support remains strong. Anthony Blinken met with Volodymyr Zelensky in Kyiv yesterday after a 6-month delay of a $400 million aid package to the country. It includes desperately requested weapons like Patriot and Stinger missile systems and Bradley fighting vehicles. Blinken's visit comes at a critical time, with Russian troops claiming they pushed farther into northeastern Ukraine in recent days.
we have a plan for getting to the day when Ukraine can stand strongly on its own feet, militarily, economically, democratically.
Aid for Ukraine is also flowing from the European Union. The Ukraine Facility Program, according to the EU Council, is intended to help assist Ukraine with the recovery, reconstruction, and modernization of the country.
With many universities holding commencement ceremonies, there is still fear of protests by demonstrators occurring during the big day. As Caplin News' Natalie Pereira reports, a majority of university administrators have either canceled or changed graduation plans.
I ask that you allow the program to continue.
With chanting, walkouts, and graduation stage takeovers, pro-Palestinian students are finding ways to protest during university commencement ceremonies.
It's sad, and I think it's a really bad way to end your college career.
At Pomona College outside Los Angeles, Some students and parents are upset after the school has decided to move it off campus for safety reasons in response to demonstrators occupying the original venue.
As our universities celebrate, we should also be extremely critical of their involvement that has led to the decimation of entire educational infrastructure.
In North Carolina,
I know all of you here are going to use all of your brains and muscle and soul to improve the world.
This video shows about 30 students at Duke University walking out of Sunday's commencement service just before comedian Jerry Seinfeld spoke, with some holding Palestinian flags. And here's another walkout at Virginia Commonwealth University during the governor's speech Saturday and chanting at UC Berkeley the same day.
I invite you to speak with me after the event in a space that's more appropriate.
For Caplin News, I'm Natalie Pereira.
A catastrophic bus crash left 8 civilians dead and 45 injured. Authorities believe all passengers were migrant farm workers. The incident happened just after 6:30 Tuesday morning. The bus was traveling westbound when a pickup truck heading east traveled toward the center line, making the two vehicles sideswipe each other. The bus driver quickly reacted and went off the road, smashing through a fence and ending up in a tree. It is still unclear what caused the crash.
Residents are being forced to evacuate their homes after a brush fire sweeps through central Florida. The Highlands County Fire Rescue evacuated locals in the area yesterday, and there is still an available shelter for those who need it. 20% of the blaze is contained and has closed off roads nearby. People are asked to avoid the area as much as possible.
The conversation about mental health may be a tough subject to talk about with children, but it does help their development and well-being. As Caplin News reporter Eli Ruiz reports, having a conversation about mental health with children is crucial for building key skills.
It's not always comfortable talking about mental health with your kids, but experts say those conversations are critical for a child's healthy development and well-being. And the recommended age to start these talks may surprise you. You know how to make dinner for your kids and lend a hand with homework, but what about how to help them with mental health?
We want kids to be able to know their emotions, because every emotion is okay, right? But not every reaction is.
Pediatric psychologist Whitney Raglan Bignall with the Kids Mental Health Foundation says many parents are divided on when to start mental health conversations. But she says the earlier, the better for building key mental health skills.
I have a 16-month-old. He doesn't like sometimes when I have to tell him no, right? And so I'm sharing with him, like, I know that you're really upset that mom is not allowing you to touch this very dangerous thing, but mommy can't allow you to do it. And so it's helping him see that, yes, I know that he's upset about it. It's giving him a word for it so that eventually when he starts talking more to me, hopefully he can start telling me that he feels upset and he's learning some of those signals.
Raglan Bignall says parents should be open when talking about mental health and listen to what children say. Avoid distractions, don't be judgmental, watch body language and facial expressions, and don't ask too many questions, because the goal is for them to want to talk openly with you.
Connection and belonging is so vital. Just as we need to eat and drink, we need to be connected with one another.
For Caplin News, I'm Eli Ruiz.
Last night's playoff game was so close, the Panthers had to pull their goalie.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
Looking at what these interest rates are doing to their monthly payments, thinking, I can't afford this.
Inflation and high interest rates are causing double trouble for potential car buyers. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Really use a new tablet. I just don't have the money.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a Pell Grant?
Yes.
You do know you can get a free tablet, right?
Did you say free?
Yeah, free. It's simple. And the application is done in the store.
I could really use a tablet.
Go get one. Another satisfied customer. Stop by Panther in the Graham Center at FIU MMC today to speak with one of our associates to get your free tablet.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Potential car buyers are still showing interest this morning, but they are finding price to be a problem. With the rise of prices increasing significantly, this also affects the car market, with high interest starting to turn people away from purchasing a vehicle.
As Caplin News' Jonathan Mayer reports, it may be recommended to downsize your options and lease instead of purchasing.
High interest rates are driving up car prices, but that doesn't mean a used car will land you a better deal.
The used car market has definitely had a bit of a topsy-turvy past few years.
Jessica Caldwell with auto company Edmunds says interest rates for new cars are over 7%, but for used cars, rates can be higher than 11%.
All of a sudden, we have people coming back into market, looking at what these interest rates are doing to their monthly payments, thinking, I can't afford this.
According to the most recent data from Bankrate.com, interest rates for both new and used cars have gone up nearly 3% in the last few years. But sticker prices are also higher. Caldwell says when there are fewer used cars in the market, it drives up the prices. So what can you do to help pump the brakes on the high cost? Caldwell recommends doing your homework to look at all options.
We're starting to see subsidized interest rates like a 1.9 for 60 months or 2.9, whereas a few years ago, those did not exist.
Caldwell also recommends looking at leasing. Certified pre-owned vehicles have better rates, and electric vehicles come with tax credits, which can help lower overall costs. Also, make sure you're getting your car serviced regularly so it lasts longer. For Caplin News, I'm Jonathan Mayer.
The Florida Panthers are now on their way back to Boston as they pack their bags and were unable to close out the series at home against the Bruins. The Cats were down 1-0 in the first period, with last night only getting 4 shots on the goal, and while they were able to score or tie the game in the second, the Bruins quickly responded for the lead. Despite their efforts, the Bruins defense held the Panthers from scoring and did cut their series lead 3-2. The final score was Boston 2, Panthers 1. The Panthers will go to Boston for Game 6 of the series in hopes of closing out there on Friday.
And over to baseball, the Marlins were able to find a win in Detroit against the Tigers. Not the most exciting baseball game ever, but a win is a win. The match went into extra innings after the riveting score of 0-0. It was the top of the 10th inning when Brian De La Cruz scored the eventual game winner for the Marlins. The final score was Marlins 1, Detroit 0. The Marlins will play the final game of their series later today at 1:15 p.m. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Bill is a family man. He invests his money wisely and provides a good life for his children. Just one problem. He often opens emails from senders he doesn't know, and his computer is not password protected. One day, Bill checked his bank account and 94% of malware attacks originate from emails. Don't be like Bill. Take your cybersecurity seriously.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Ivani Lewski.
I'm Jason Herrick. Government news anytime at caplinnews.fau.edu.